benefit. We are cleaning our house, and no one is above the law. Let me make this absolutely clear to every minister, every governor, every senior official sitting comfortably in their offices. If you are not working for the Namibian people, you will be gone. If you think you can use your position to enrich yourself, to take bribes, to sign deals behind closed doors with foreign interests, then let me remind you, your time is over. I was not elected to serve foreign corporations. I was not chosen by my people to be a puppet for the West or for anyone else. I was elected to serve Namibia, and I will do exactly that. For far too long, Africa has been a continent of wealth, but a continent of poor people. A land blessed with treasures beyond imagination, yet burdened with poverty that should never have existed. From the sands of the Sahara to the rivers of the Zambezi, our soil hides riches that could transform the world, and yet the children of the soil go to bed hungry. How can it be that a continent so rich in gold, diamonds, oil, copper, uranium, and fertile land still has millions living in poverty? How can it be that the very nations that extract our resources live in abundance, while we are left with the dust of our own inheritance? For far too long, we have watched foreign countries grow rich from our diamonds, our gold, our oil, our uranium, our rare earth minerals, while our children sit in darkness, while our farmers struggle to feed their families, while our youth migrate because there are no opportunities at home. This is not destiny, this is design. It is a system built to keep Africa poor and dependent, while others feast on our labor, our resources, and our silence. And they come to us with contracts written in fine print, with promises of development, investment, and aid. But behind those promises lie exploitation and deceit. They tell us they will help us build, yet they leave us with debt. They promise to transfer knowledge, yet they take our raw materials and give us finished products at 10 times the cost. They talk of partnership, but in truth, they want ownership. Ownership of our minds, our ports, our energy, our very sovereignty. And we, for too long, have allowed it. We signed deals that made us servants in our own homes. We celebrated foreign investments that built nothing but dependence. We allowed leaders who bowed before foreign interests to sign away our future. But that era, that shameful era, must end. It must end because our people are waking up. It must end because we can no longer justify poverty in the midst of such abundance. It must end because every time a Namibian child studies by candlelight while our uranium powers foreign cities, it is an insult to our dignity. Every time our youth beg for jobs, my fellow Namibians, and to the great sons and...
Okay. She's standing on business for all. Hello. Yeah, yep, that's right. They struggling. Yeah, they've been struggling for a while because them faucets getting cut off. Them gold faucets that got all that money coming out. It ain't there no more, Miss Tamara. They shut it down. They said y'all gotta go. They kicked them out and everything.
Was that AI?
Overdue.
Was that made with AI?
I think that was made with AI. I think that was her. That was her. But that was made with AI.
Oh, okay.
And she has joined in with the other 14 with Burkina Faso with that. So for all the men who say women can't lead, y'all full of it. I know they leading over in Africa. She ain't the only one. There's several of women who's in positions of power. She got rid of the guy who was over the energy and mine, and she said, when we get ready to check them books and we see that you've been doing some shady stuff, you're going to give them back. She said, every penny will be counted. Because she know they've been doing some dirty stuff. All them backroom deals and stuff, under table deals, all that. She said that's getting cut out. She said enough. Enough is enough. She ain't doing that no more. So that's what I want to hear. That's what needs to take place. And before that, before y'all came on, I played the video of the guy explaining what's going on in Nigeria, where he's saying he names, I think, almost 10 things that we're being involved in that pertains to Nigeria that has nothing to do with Christianity. We want to have, because if you, and I played the video about BRICS, Nigeria is one of the other countries that are adding on to, they're in the process of going along with BRICS now. And Nigeria is one of the richest countries in Africa. And if they become part of BRICS, then there is going to be a stronghold on the economy for them, because they're only going to be doing their trading and their commerce with the countries that's falling under BRICS. So everybody else is going to be left out. Well, America doesn't like that. The West don't like that. That's why all of a sudden now they got Christians being persecuted, and they trying to send troops to Nigeria because they getting ready to get left out of this BRICS formation. They didn't invite them, and they didn't ask them to come along. So America and any other country that's connected to America, definitely going to have some issues with trying to infiltrate. So that's why all of a sudden now they're saying Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria when they're not. The young man said that's not what's really happening. That's not happening at all. That's just a cover up, a ploy to try to stronghold Nigeria. And as if you guys know, I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, but they also, they're going after Venezuela. Well, Russia and China said, try it. That's basically what they're saying. Try it. Because when they become parts of BRICS, you can guarantee everybody in that BRICS collaboration ain't going to let you come in and try to take over any of their countries. That's not happening. So basically, that's what's taking place right now in Africa. And we got Nicki Minaj. I said earlier, Nicki Minaj talking to the UN about Christians being persecuted. Oh well, because that's not really the truth. She in the middle of something that she don't even know the backstory on. It's more to that whole Nigeria thing, because Nigeria has become part of BRICS. And like I said before, China and Russia ain't gonna let nobody touch them. So you hollering about Christians over there being persecuted. They said there's no proof of that. Just like the drugs in Venezuela, there's no proof in that. The whole thing about Venezuela is that oil and their minerals. Same thing in other countries that America trying to get a hold to. So America, whatever they do, America got their own problems. Right now, they're trying to get us into World War III. But right now, they don't need that. They really don't. They really don't need that kind of problem. They got 99 problems, but messing with Venezuela and Nigeria ain't it. And that's what we need to come off at. We need to realize that. That's not where we need to be messing in foreign soils right now. We got our own problems here. We really do. So, Tavares, go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
You had something to say, didn't you?
No.
You don't have nothing to say?
No. Yeah, you need to you got we talk about Steve Maxwell, and we talk about how when he was at KLAB, he had snatched some of our footage and used it without giving credit.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he's back in Alexandria and he's reporting specifically for Jock Roy,
Mm-hmm.
you may want to he's doing a lot of Jockweigh's campaign money is definitely going to Steve Maxwell, and a lot of the campaign money that Jockwei would typically do with adverts during the campaign. A lot of that is going to Steve Maxwell because he's doing the heavy lifting for. He's holding his balls for him, and so you guys might, if you want to go over to Facebook and pull those interviews up, he's talking about the MacArthur corridor. I guess as opposed to the lies that Jockwei tells in city council meetings. And the other reason I want you to go take a look at it is check the comment section.
Okay. So I'm pulling up the first one's on here is he's talking about the update of police shortage.
Well, okay. Don't go with the first one. That's the newest one. You want if you don't have the other ones first, you might want to go with the earliest one.
Okay, so I'm looking at the update of giving back to the community is one of them. The other one that goes back to the police officers.
Is that the one with Jock on it?
Yeah, the one with Jock on it. Yeah.
Is there one before that?
They all got Jock in them.
Oh, well then, yeah, start with the earliest one.
Okay, hold up.
Make sure you guys are whatever platform you're watching us on. If you're watching us on YouTube, just hit the like and share, no matter what time you're watching this. If you're on Facebook, hit the like and the share, and send this to a few people so that we could get more people in here. We can have this discussion more broader. We love the comment section, so yeah.
So they brought Stephen Maxwell back because he thought, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you how people work. This is just my take on it. Because Channel 5 is not giving Jock, they're not doing what Jock wants to be done. This is the whole thing. He wants to paint a narrative that Channel 5 said they're not going to let you paint. So he goes and gets his old buddy, his I don't know.
It's his godson.
Whatever. Go get him so that they brought him back. They set that stuff up with Sinlaw Broadcasting so he would go straight over there. He probably didn't even do an interview. They probably just said, come on in, man. We know you already. We know you can do this job. And went on and gave him that job. Now, all of a sudden, Stephen Maxwell got it. Stephen Maxwell TV. He did all this. That was all coordinated. It was all taken care of.
Well, it wasn't supposed to go this far, right? In my mind, I assumed that it wasn't supposed to go this far.
I think it was.
I think that the intention was for him to, at first, the whole updates and stuff that he was doing earlier was in an effort. It was working, right? But it wasn't working to the extent that Jockwei needed it to work. So they got together and concocted this whole Stephen Maxwell TV thing, which is literally, let me tell you something. If Mr. Porter was mayor and I had the opportunity to pull some shit like this off, I would do it. I'm not going to lie. I would do it. I get the point. It's just for it's shitty people interviewing shitty people. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's the opposite. It would be it'd be two good people interviewing each other. Or Mr. Porter might even turn around and try to interview me while I'm sitting there, because you only want to talk with people that actually know something about what you're talking about. You don't want stupid people interviewing. But I guess we're about to watch this stupid interview. Go ahead.
Patrol it if you're having a hard time hiring the officers now. How would that work?
So, great question. One of the things we do is, so the first negative to get past, Stephen, that you and I deal with every day is, oh, it's unsafe, I'm not going there. That's
Pause.
That's not true, and it's fixable. So I don't
Okay.
Listen. You ever seen Jock Roy like that?
Nope.
I'm so pissed off at his outfit.
Why?
That shit does not match, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That shit does not match. I don't know what it is about him and these fucking sleeveless goddamn lining jackets that the shit that he like. You got it, like, bro.
Are you talking about his clothes? Are you really talking about his clothes?
I'm just talking about the color court. This is the mayor of a whole entire city. They take money, as much money as they can get their fucking grubby hands on, and this is how you come on TV. Or
Well,
at least
wait a minute. Hold up. He's sitting here with his buddy, trying to justify the police shortage. What are you expecting? He knows he can't tell that lie to Channel 5 because Channel 5 is going to do their research. That's
no,
why.
Stephen has already done his research. He knows that Channel 5 ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he already knows. And you know, he got a little special vendetta against Channel 5 too, because he had to leave it.
Because of the
Republicans couldn't, because the COVID, he couldn't, he wasn't going to take that shot. So that's why he, as we know, those are Republicans, jumped up and left. Him and his buddies left. He wound up going to
that's what Jeff Hall took over. That's what they left. It had nothing to do with that. Yeah,
No.
it has to do with them being Republican, but they were no longer in the favor of the city.
No.
So him and Al Quarterman left.
Tavares, when
All
they
right.
left, listen to Mama, okay? When Gray Communications told them that they had to take the COVID shot, mandatory, it was all on the news, mandatory, that's when they left. Had nothing to do with Jeff Hall. This was in 2020. That's when they left. Him and Cartermine and Similine, all of them. That's when they packed up and left. It's during just when they were mandatory.
They left when that lady stopped being the boss over there.
Okay. They left when Gray Communication told them that they had to take the mandatory COVID shot. Okay. All right. So I know you don't. You don't have to. I know what they did. Damn it.
Okay.
We don't want to tolerate any risk in those parks whatsoever that we can easily prevent. And so one of the first things we're doing is we're relocating our SWAT training center over in what was the old Handiworks building. You're going to have a law enforcement presence there. You're also going to have all of our CSOs, our community service officers, will all be out of there every day. And their main job is to make those parks where anybody wants to be there at all times. That's essential. One of my zero tolerances is I cannot continue to allow public assets that we all as taxpayers should be enjoying to be overrun by things where you have a lot of homelessness or unhoused people. Those aren't all the same. I need to be clear about that. Some people are trafficked. Some people have drug and other problems that we need to help. Corporal acts of mercy are critical. We need to do those things.
Okay, stop.
Bad policy that just says there.
Did your mayor just admit that people are being trafficked through Alexandria?
That's what he said, being trafficked. That's what he said. He said that word.
So what that story about those people, about that guy over there at that recovery center where he was giving out methadone patches and he was giving out methadone patches in exchange for the patients bringing him people to traffic, and he's the only one that went to jail for it. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Is that the same, or was that something different? Because if people being trafficked through Alexandria, shouldn't Alexandria be on a higher alert for traffickers?
Well, I know if they coming through to Houston, they're trafficked through here.
Well, I mean, if he knows that it's happening, how come there's no task force for it?
I don't know if that's what he's talking about. If he's talking about people, or is he talking about drugs?
No, he said people. He's talking about the homeless and the unhoused, which are the same fucking thing, but we'll get to that later.
No, it's not.
It is.
Okay.
If you don't have a house, then you're homeless.
That's true. I got you.
There are no rules. You can go in a park and leave a needle. You can go in a park and bother someone who's got their young children trying to play tennis. Those are different things on a scale. And some people.
So wait a minute. So he's saying that people are in the parks harassing other people. Anybody know anything about that?
No, not other people. He said tennis players.
No. He said families playing tennis. He said people playing tennis.
Okay, so who are the people playing tennis?
I don't know. I don't go to the park, so I don't know.
No,
And I don't go.
Listen. You know what? You're right.
I don't go to the parks.
You're
so
right.
I
You're
don't
right.
know.
I'm just saying that they put tennis courts up and it wasn't for us. He didn't say shit about anything. This I never watched it before, but I hear the dog whistle.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
I hear the dog whistle.
I hear it.
I don't know. I guess I've been around.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
Will be critical and say, you don't get it. Those people just need our help. We can't help them if we don't have a community that is driven by sales tax, that has people willing to come and invest. If we can't help unless we grow the city in those areas that fund the things that give help.
So more officers in that area? Is what
Okay.
you're
Oh, yeah,
thinking?
absolutely.
The community.
Now,
So
oh my God, that didn't even make no sense. But go ahead.
So he's saying that let's leave the poor areas poor and let's go ahead and take care of these areas that generate revenue.
No, that's not what he said. He said that there's no revenue coming into those areas. That's not what he said. He said there's no revenue coming into areas and we need to build some areas
okay,
up.
all right. Miss Alita, I'm not. Can you just run it back and we can both listen to what he just said?
Yes, I can do that, sir.
Thank you.
We can't help them if we don't have a community that is driven by sales tax, that has people willing to come and invest. If we can't help unless we grow the city in those areas that fund the things that give help.
So
You see what I'm
more
saying?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We can't grow the city unless we take care of the places that fund that generate revenue.
That's what you heard. I didn't hear that.
He said we can't help those people if we don't take care of the places that generate revenue around the city.
He basically saying that those areas, this is what I got from him, that we need to build up the areas that don't have revenue in it right now.
That's not your list. That's none of what he said.
Okay.
But run it back. We can look. Yeah,
No,
run it back.
baby. Pumpkin, I'm not about to debate you on this.
It's not a debate.
officers in
You
that
said
area is what you're
Oh,
thinking?
yeah, absolutely.
Be quiet.
Community service officers.
And so part of Reignite will be to establish officers in addition to them, but yes, more community service officers, because most of the problems there are not criminal. They may have criminality involved, but they're not where you would always make an arrest. But if they are, the community service officer is trained and they get an officer there. But I don't need the police being security guards for behavior that is nearing criminal behavior, but is bad behavior and is behavior that needs to be curbed and changed. That's what community service officers do. They allow you to force multiply what is a challenge in every community, and that's getting full-blown police in every place you need them.
The question that's going to be asked is, how are you going to patrol it if you're having a hard time hiring the officers now? How would that work with the budget?
Great question. One of the things we do is what's called force multiplication. How do you make the force that's this multiplied through other things? The biggest way is technology. Drones are a form of force multiplication. They can be anywhere a cop can be plus more, right? CSOs can do it. So they're not constrained by the same benefit classing and everything.
He still didn't say nothing about cameras. He said drones.
Listen, he said drones. Drones are exponentially more expensive than
Mhm.
those cameras.
Yep.
Drones are exponentially, you're going to pay $5,000 for a good drone, for a police grade drone. And if you're buying 10 and 12 of them, you're in the hole $60,000.
No, you're not, because it's your money. You're not in the hole.
Well, the budget is in the hole. There needs to be made a
They do. They already have one. That's not a big deal for him. Let's see if he's going to say cameras. Hold up.
everything else. So if you have officers doing community policing in that corridor, as I explained earlier, that aren't needed because the level of criminality there is homelessness, doing some things that are undesirable behaviors that can be identified, moved on, or identified in a cop come. Why would you use a badged gunned officer for that? You don't need to. So the force multiplication comes from a CSO.
Well, hey everybody, for the best deals in town, check out Walker Kia in Alexandria. You can get a 20.
Okay. Again, cameras are stationary. Drones, you got to prep them and put them up in the air.
the same people, you have to have a specialized training to
Yes.
operate those drones.
That's right.
That's expensive. You have to have the clearance to fly those drones. That could be expensive.
Well, okay. But he already has people who know how to do it, or else he wouldn't be talking
That's
about it.
not all right.
Keep that in mind. He's not talking
All
about
right,
something
all right. I will.
he hasn't already thought about already. You know that's not him. Now, he didn't mention cameras at all.
6 Kia K5 with custom interior. I might even get the pink too. It's cool.
How are you going to patrol it if you're having a hard time hiring the officers now? How would that?
Okay, let me find another one. Okay. So let's see what she said. Let me hold up. I'm gonna bring it back in a minute. Hold up. Let me see. Because I can't see that little tiny writing. Roy feels like he's got to have a yes man. Yep. He sure does. Yep. Oh, he's talking about that park that's next to the Boys and Girls Club. That's what they usually play tennis at. Okay. That's what last known them to play tennis. Okay, got you. And also they're talking about, and he's talking about the city park too. So is he trying to say they're coming over from their own district, that would be the quarters or even the city park, harassing those folks that's playing tennis? That's what I'm thinking that's what he's saying, Ms. Dixon. So they rather fly drones than cameras. That's because they can control them yep, that's right. That's right. You are so on point, Ms. Dixon. You are so on point. He's got some more. Let me bring some more up. Let me see if that's the first one. So let me bring some more of it up. Yeah, here's another piece of it. Okay, hold up, you guys. I gotta show it. Gotta bring it up.
How much of your budget is spent on public safety? Stephen, I need you to understand this, and all of your viewers. The city can't spend capital dollars that are designated for capital projects on salaries. I'm going to say it again. The city can't spend the Reignite money on salaries because the taxes dedicated for Reignite were voted on by the people as capital infrastructure taxes. This is how much of your budget is spent on public safety, the red. This should give the public an idea of what I'm talking about. When people say just spend it all on that, well, that's how much we're spending today on it. The vast majority of what we spend in the operations and salaries of the budget, that's fully of the whole thing. 33.797 million is in that. That's you're getting really near 50% of the whole budget goes to one set of divisions.
Now, I feel like we could spend all day on the whole police thing, and we're not. But it was a main campaign.
We should come back on it because look, I always say it. it's your front door. If we don't get that right, all these other things we're talking about won't happen.
But that's
Oh.
something you guys are still
Yes.
working towards.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and before you go, thanks to one of our local sponsors, Spurgeon Law Firm. Remember,
Spurgeon Law Firm. So let's see here. Let me see. Let's see if this is the same one.
Well, Mayor, thanks for coming on.
Sure.
You're the inaugural Cinema Update exclusive. It's probably
I got it. It makes a little sense, probably.
one of the bigger moments in your career, I'm sure.
Okay, I don't know what that meant. I don't know what that meant. Let me see if I see anything else. KSYL. See this connection, y'all? See this connection, KSYL? That's Republican, y'all. That is all Republican. And I'm saying it not because I'm talking Democrat, Republican, but we got to know where it's all coming from. Let me see. Give me a second here. Let's see what this means.
everybody, Stephen Maxwell, happy Monday to you. I think we're all in ready for Thanksgiving mode, but hey, work never stops. We got a lot of stuff coming up for you today, a couple of stories, working on a big project that we'll announce sometime this week. Big project's gonna be lots of fun, something unique in this community, and we'll have a teaser for it here in just a bit. But get ready, lots of stories coming up, and make sure to pick up.
Okay. He look old. Let's see. Anything else? Body found in Alexandria. That was breaking news. Oh, that happened on the 21st of November. Do y'all know about this? Anybody know about the body found? Okay, let's see here. Let's see. It's hidden agenda going on, and that's just what it looks. Yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right. Roy's proud of himself for the corruption, and Stephen Maxwell is part of the problem too, because he agrees to the shenanigans. Yep, that's so true. That is so true. So y'all know about a body that was found in Alexandria on the 21st of November. Did they ever say who that was? Huh? Did anybody know about that? Okay. I ain't getting nothing from nobody. Okay. 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 So let's come off of Stephen Maxwell page. Let's come out of his page. Okay. So Tavares. Anybody have any questions? I've seen that article, but I haven't heard anything else. Okay. Tavares. He don't went on mute. I don't know. But anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
What? No, don't holler. No, what's going on? You're on the show. What do you mean? What's going on? Like I'm bothering you?
No,
Am
you're
I
calling
bothering
me,
you?
asking me a question, and I don't know what it is. So I'm asking you what's going.
I'm asking you anything else that you want me to go from our news. Anything?
No, that was that's all I had.
Okay, that's all you had. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so we're gonna come out of So let's talk about the Campbell guy. Hold up. Let's talk about the Campbell guy. This is a good combo. We could talk about real quick.
And he said it himself. Their products are shit for poor people, that he barely buys them, and that the chicken inside is bioengineered, maybe even 3D printed. Those words didn't come from a critic. They came from inside the company. And when someone at the top speaks like that, you have to stop and ask why. Because when you turn the can around and look at what's actually inside, you start to understand. This is Campbell's chicken with rice soup. The label looks harmless, but the ingredient list tells a different story. Chicken stock that isn't a long simmered broth. It's flavor concentrates, salt, and additives. White rice for bulk. Small traces of real chicken. A couple vegetables. And then comes the real formula. Monosodium glutamate to force flavor. Yeast extract to add even more glutamate. Sugar to balance the harsh edges. Cornstarch and modified cornstarch to thicken it. Soy protein isolate to mimic body and richness instead of using more meat. Sodium phosphate to hold textures together. Soy lecithin to emulsify the fat. Natural flavorings that could be anything from hydrolyzed vegetable proteins to lab-made extracts. And the can itself confirms it. The corn and soy ingredients are genetically modified. But here's the part that should make you pause. The soup never once mentions bioengineered meat. Yet a top executive inside the company allegedly used those exact words and said he avoids the product because he knows what's in it. Now, to be clear, nothing on this label states that the chicken is bioengineered. But look at what is stated. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. The ingredients from corn and soy come from genetically modified crops. That means the starch, the oil, the soy protein isolate, the lecithin, the flavor components, all GMO derived, even though the chicken is marketed as no antibiotics ever. So what does a formula like this actually do to the human body? Let's break it down. A single serving gives you 790 milligrams of sodium, and most people eat the whole can. That's over 1,500 milligrams of sodium in one sitting, enough to raise blood pressure and trigger fluid retention, especially in people with hypertension, kidney strain, or cardiovascular risk. Zero fiber. Almost no protein, just 2 grams per serving, because the flavor is coming from additives, not meat. Soy protein isolate and modified starches raise blood sugar faster than whole food ingredients. MSG and yeast extract overstimulate taste receptors and make processed foods feel more satisfying than they really are. Sodium phosphate can be absorbed so efficiently that people with kidney issues are advised to avoid it. And GM-derived soy and corn components contribute nothing but calories, thickeners, and stabilizers. There's no collagen, no minerals from real broth, no medicinal compounds from simmered bones or fresh vegetables. Just a product engineered to taste like soup, without offering the nourishment of actual soup. So when an executive inside the company mocks the product, calls it shit, says he hardly eats it, and claims the chicken is bioengineered, people listen, because if the people who make it don't trust it, why should the people who buy it? And once you compare this ingredient list with real food, real broth, real herbs, real nourishment, you realize the truth. Products like this aren't designed to heal the body. They're designed to sell. He was a high-ranking executive at Campbell's Soup. And he said it himself. Their products are shit for poor people.
Now, you heard what he said about that chicken soup. So I know Campbell's. I want to see what Campbell's stock look like. Let's look at Campbell's stock real quick. I'm curious. Let's see what their stock look like right now. Oh, today, y'all need to see this. Y'all need to see it if you know about, hold up, let me pull up the stock. The stock looks good today. Let's see. Okay. So the stock is, it's $30.48 per stock, and it was up today. And again, they talk about the story of him getting fired. Let's see. After hours, it went down a little bit, but today it was up by 24%. Interesting. That is interesting. Let's see. Did it plummet any other time? It didn't plummet any other time. Let's see. No. So it didn't go anywhere. But it's so far it's saying it's up. It went up a little bit right here. So that's a good thing. I seen that article. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, that's old. Okay, I see. I thought that was something. I'm sorry. So that was an interesting story. Anybody got anything else you want to talk about real quick? Tavares?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I said, do you have anything you want to discuss?
No. No. Yeah, no, I don't. I can't think anything off the top of my head. Nope.
Then I'm gonna shorten this show then. I'm gonna shorten the show. Give me a second here. Okay, just one more thing. And since y'all are don't have much to say tonight, I'm gonna shut the show down. Give me 1 second. I want to talk about lynching real quick, where it came from.
Because the version that we were taught is a lie by omission. Listen, everybody knows what lynching has become. The ropes, the trees, the mobs, the bodies left hanging as warnings, the terror that we inherited. But almost nobody ever learns where the word even came from. And once you learn that part, you understand something this country never says out loud. Lynching didn't start with murder. It started with permission. Permission for white men to punish whoever they wanted, however they wanted, whenever the legal system didn't give them the outcome that they preferred. So, let me tell you. During the Revolutionary War, Charles Lynch wasn't satisfied with the courts, so he built his own. He ran informal tribunals on his property. Not real courts, not real trials. He rounded up people suspected of supporting the British. Not proven guilty, not tried, not even properly questioned, just suspected. And then you punished them. Whipping, imprisonment, forced labor, property seizure. All without a judge, without a jury, without evidence. People called it Lynch's Law, a nickname for punishment outside of the legal system. And here's the part that matters. He wrote to the Virginia legislature asking for protection, and instead of reprimanding him, they passed a law giving him and his men retroactive immunity. Think about that, right? America didn't just tolerate extra legal punishment. It validated it. That's the seed of the word lynching. And that seed grew into something that this country still hasn't reckoned with. In the 1780s, lynching didn't mean killing. It meant punishment without trial. It meant white men deciding that the law wasn't strict enough. It meant vigilante authority with government approval. By the 1830s, newspapers were using the word everywhere. But after the Civil War, when Black people were suddenly citizens on paper, that's when the word mutated. Lynch's law went from punishing loyalists to punishing Black freedom. White mobs used it to justify terror, assaults, hangings, burnings, shootings, mutilation, public torture, all for things like voting, owning land, standing their ground, protecting their families, or simply existing outside of the bounds that white supremacy created. Lynching didn't become racial violence by accident, though. It became racial violence because the legal system allowed it to shift in that direction and then refused to stop it. From 1882 to 1968, at least 3,442 Black people were lynched, not as punishment, as terror, as a message, as a warning to every Black person watching. And Congress blocked anti-lynching laws for over 120 years. They protected the word longer than they protected the people suffering under it. So here's the truth, the part they hoped you'd never connect. The word lynching didn't come from the violence. The violence came from the permission that was baked into that word from the start. A permission that said some people get due process. Other people get whatever the mob chooses. And America looked at Charles Lynch's backyard justice system and said, yeah, that works for us. So when you say the word lynching, know this. You're not just naming racial terror. You're naming a legal tradition. You're naming a philosophy that shaped this country. You're naming a system built on white men deciding that due process could be optional. So know where the word came from, know what it became, and know that this country never wanted you to connect the two. Where the word lynching really comes from, because the version that we were taught is a lie.
So let me see. She said, I'm just listening. Oh, you just listening? Yeah, because yeah, I get you. So I didn't know that until I actually found this video. I always look for her videos because her videos are so entertaining and they're so knowledgeable, right? The ideal that there was a man named Lynch. I didn't know his name was Charles Lynch. See, you learn something every day. That's why I'm a big fan of learning and knowledge and reading. That just took me for a loop, y'all. I'm sorry. That took me for a serious loop. I didn't know that. And the ideal that, did you hear how many years? 120 years Congress fought against lynching being against the law. That is crazy. I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's a rude awakening. Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was you going to say?
Oh, nothing. Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed their families and their time with them and all the good food. Hope you didn't celebrate Thanksgiving. Hope you just celebrated having your family around. But yeah.
Did you have your family around?
No.
Where was your family?
They were away on vacation.
Oh, okay. They decided you weren't important enough for them to spend time with?
No, not at all.
They played you second fiddle. They like, oh, okay, I can do something better.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said, oh, you said your son fighting his sleep right now, Miss Hall. That's funny. Oh boy. Did you get my email? Did you get my invite for Monday? That's Monday night, you guys. Don't forget Monday night. Our legacy activation ritual webinar. I'm excited. Don't forget, at 7 o'clock here on StreamYard. So let's see. That was interesting. Let's see something else I can find in my treasure trove before I let y'all go. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want to make anybody feel bad about their Oh, you guys check this out. Hold up. You guys have got to see this. I didn't know this was going on, but you got to see this. Let me show y'all this. Let's see. Hey, can you go on mute? Because I don't really want to hear what you're doing over there.
This is likely, Susan. Look at how they're putting black men in cages. This is still happening in 2025. And this is being carried out by an Arab man. What are your thoughts on this? Greetings all. Welcome to Tuesday. This is likely, Susan. Look at how they're putting black men in cages. This is still happening in 2025. And this is being carried out by an Arab man. What are your thoughts on this?
He said that's an Arab. And Arabs are still selling people. Okay? Arab is still selling people. Isn't that crazy? Hold up, y'all. Did y'all see this? Hold up.
I've let the entire American public down. Because you are a Bubba blowing, Katie Johnson raping, E. Jean Carroll raping, genital grabbing, porn star wife cheating, teenage dressing room peeping, Ghislaine Maxwell helping, Obamacare ending, ICE Gestapo wielding, Venezuelan warmongering, SNAP benefits denying, George Santos pardoning, pathological lying, disability mocking, childish name calling, immigrant hating, bone spurs draft dodging, East Wing destroying, Putin bootlicking, pro-fascist, Fox News lackey hiring, city army invading, crypto billionaire pardoning, Biden blaming, pardon selling, climate change denying, election denying, January 6th inciting, justice undermining, school lunch hating, classified documents stealing, crypto coin scamming, conspiracy theory spreading, grocery prices raising, farmer bankrupting, inflation raising, criminal friends pardoning, healthcare concept of a plan corrupt, convicted felon. You are an international disgrace that should never have been allowed to be our leader.
Y'all know that wasn't real, right? Y'all know that was AI. That was AI. But it was funny because you could see Marco Rubio sitting over there, and every now and then they would make his head turn toward that guy. They said that Marco Rubio, this is what they're saying. I know it was funny. That was funny. Even though it was the truth, y'all. They're saying Marco Rubio cannot stand the smell of what's the name, but he's the only one, him and somebody else they say that goes around Trump. They cannot stand his smell. They said he is so disgusting. He's a typical white man. What do y'all expect? He's a typical white man. White men, I mean, come on. What do y'all expect from them? I hope you weren't expecting anything better. I mean, they said he needs to change his depends more. He don't change them enough, which I thought it was crazy. Hold up. But yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay, let's talk about this one real quick.
A ragtag group of men This Venezuela state TV footage made headlines around the world. Venezuelan security rounding up a ragtag group of men in a village on the country's northern coast. Some of the captured men were wearing no shoes or shirts at all.
What's your name? Luke Alexander Denman.
Two of the men captured were Americans, ex-U.S. Army Green Berets. And Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro said dozens more were captured and 8 men killed. Maduro said the men planned to enter Venezuela on its northern coast and make their way to Caracas, where they would attempt to kidnap him.
Something had gone terribly wrong.
Business Insider spoke to Luke Denman's brother, Mark, along with the U.S. State Department and other key figures.
From what he understood, this was a U.S. government-backed operation. His very trusted friend brought him in on it. It was for a cause he believed in.
Although Luke Denman may have believed the mission had the support of the U.S. government, the State Department flatly denies it.
There was no U.S. government direct involvement in this operation. If we'd have been involved, it would have gone differently.
Trump also disavowed any U.S. involvement in the plot.
We just heard about it, but whatever it is, we'll let you know. But it has nothing to do with our government.
This Venezuela state TV footage.
Now, they said that, you see how quickly they denied it? You see how quickly they denied, oh, we don't know nothing about that. Where you get that from? That wasn't us. Y'all, do y'all believe that they didn't have nothing to do with that? Anybody believe that they didn't have nothing to do with that?
No.
Huh?
No. They where are you gonna find two ex-Army Green Berets hanging out with each other in Venezuela?
Exactly. No, to send them to Venezuela. That's the crazy part. Where was you gonna find them at? No.
And how would you group them two in with a bunch of other criminals?
How? Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
That didn't go very well for us. We didn't get that. Okay, y'all, this is another good fact. I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but let's talk about this. This was interesting to me.
Did you know
Let's make sure, I want to make sure y'all can see this. Check this out.
Oregon was the only state to join Did you know Oregon was the only state to join America with a constitution that completely banned black people from living there? In 1857, Oregon's constitution made it illegal for African Americans to own property, sign contracts, or even spend a single night in the state. But here's the shocking part. Any black person caught in Oregon would be publicly whipped every 6 months until they left. The state hired bounty hunters to track down black residents and use chain gangs to punish violators. This wasn't some forgotten law either. It stayed in effect for nearly 70 years. Oregon marketed itself as an all-white paradise, attracting racist settlers from across the country who wanted to live without black neighbors. The plan worked perfectly, creating exactly what they intended. But here's what will blow your mind. Oregon didn't remove this racist language from its constitution until 2002. That made it the very last state to officially eliminate constitutional white supremacy clauses. Just 20 years ago, this hate was still written into their founding document. Did you know Oregon was the only state to join America with a constitution?
Did y'all know that?
That's why it's super liberal now, and they can't stand it.
When I saw that, I said, wait a minute, what? But Oregon has never been a state that I would want to stay in. The name of it makes it sound boring as hell. And they have. No, go ahead.
There's some good people in Oregon. Well, I guess, there's good people on both sides.
Okay. All right. But I thought that was a fascinating story to share with y'all, that they didn't want black
I
folks
always
there.
say, right? They always say it's good people on both sides.
Who says that?
That's what when the racists get caught up, and they got people that come defend them, and the racists do something wrong. They say, you know, there's bad people on both sides. I'm having this
Mhm.
conversation as we speak. They like to, if you pull up a story or point out something that happens to be about white people, the 1st thing that the racist people do is bring up a story about black people.
Yeah.
That's their go-to, right? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of those conversations. Now we're talking about.
Oh, so you on another conversation while you on the show with me?
No,
Is
no,
that-
I'm not. That's just something that was
Oh.
happening while before I went on air.
Okay. Because I was gonna tell you.
If you guys know anything about the story about this lady, 60-year-old, said and her nephew were brutally murdered in 2020. This guy, Brian Roberts, unloaded over 60 rounds into both boys.
Why?
Well, hold on. Her son took 56 of those rounds.
Damn.
It wasn't enough. He shot him when he was already down. He walked up and put 3 more in his head, execution style. And this story is about a white man murdering 2 black boys.
And what happened to him?
No, he's going to hell. The Texas is. Oh wait. Yeah, he's got capital murder charges, multiple persons. Okay, so yeah, he's got life in prison. But that story is about a white guy. So one of the racist people responded, "It's everywhere." These 3 beat this homeless man to death, going back over and over where he was till he was dead. And she said both sides, not just one. Now, mind you, there is no context other than the story just being the story that I posted, right? It had nothing to do with white versus black. It had nothing to do with any of that. But again, their go-to is to bring up something. If you bring up something about white people, they absolutely have to respond by saying something about black people.
Exactly. All the time.
And that's just their go-to move. That's why I stay out with KLAB, because I'll be done told one of them crackers something. And it would have got my account banned. But yeah, that's their go-to move. You can't mention one without mentioning the other for some reason. They won't let a story just be a story. They have to. Their security blanket is racism, and I want to say that the white people that are racist, their security blanket is their racism. That's who they are. There's no other. There's no other way around it.
And it's getting worse with the mindset because they're losing. They know they are. They know this is the issue. Even though some of them are in agreement with the Epstein files, they know that their world is about to fall in. Once everything gets, if these Democrats do what they're saying, I don't care. It don't matter who it is that actually go definitely start filing these impeachment, whatever. When all of this starts to take place, step by step fall in place, let me tell you something. You're going to see people putting resignations all over the place because they already know they're in trouble. I was watching a video where this young lady was saying that there's already 41 congressmen talking about they hanging up their hats come 2026. 41 of them, and they're Republicans that's planning on hanging up their hats so that they won't be running for next year. Why are you scrambling so hard? Why? Why are y'all scrambling so hard? Why are y'all leaving? Why don't you serve?
I don't believe it's a scramble. What I believe is that they have to unalign themselves fairly quickly, but you really can't.
No,
the
damage has been. Oh, I know what they said. Let me tell you. I'm sorry. I do know what they said. They said the reason why they're doing it is because their lives have been threatened.
Whose lives?
Their lives. The Congress people have been. Their lives been threatened.
Oh well, that sounds good. Maybe they could, maybe they know what it's like to feel like to be black.
Now remember, the same people that put you in office are the same people that are violently threatening you.
But those are your people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like they said, they'll turn on you.
It's not. They're not going to turn on you. They were never with you. They were never with that. They were united by racism.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's right.
That would be enough to keep the marriage going, and it wasn't.
That's right, and it wasn't. They realized it wasn't because you start messing with them.
Yeah, racism is expensive.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you know about this Trump Mobile. He was coming out with these cell phones.
I thought it was the sun.
No, it said Trump Mobile has been exposed to be a T-Mobile Revel 7 Pro, but they don't have the badges on it because it's made in China.
Uh-huh.
You can buy one of those for $100, but Trump sold it to MAGA for the low price of $500.
Oh damn, that's messed up.
So he's got these cell phones that he was selling with his own badges on it for $500, and they're really $100 phones.
Well, that's just like that watch, that old cheap watch that they somebody came out with.
Yeah, they were called the rump watches because the T fell off.
Yeah, because the T fell off. Yeah. So let's talk about real quick the suspects in the National Guard shooting. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm sorry, before I pull it up. Give me a second. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. And I know you probably already heard this, but we're just going over.
Suspect has now apparently been identified in that shooting of 2 National Guard troops in D.C. I want to bring in our national law enforcement and intelligence correspondent, Tom Winter. All right, Tom, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, Hallie, 4 senior U.S. law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation say they've identified the man they believe is responsible for shooting of those 2 National Guardsmen who are now in critical condition. They've identified the individual as Rob Manula Lockenwall. Date of birth is February 9th, 1996. Last known address is in Bellingham, Washington. This individual was identified through, he did not have an ID on him. We have a photo of him being put into a stretcher, had been stripped of his clothing or had very limited clothing, apparently at the time of this incident occurring, as he targeted these 2 National Guardsmen, used a handgun to commit it. Apparently he's an Afghan national. I was still trying to get some details on his immigration history, but they were able to use a kind of a rapid fingerprint type technology that is completely electronic. So take out of your heads kind of the Law and Order version where they put the ink on your fingers and check from there. This is all digital, and we're able to check that against the database and come up with this individual's identification. Having seen a photo that we're still trying to confirm of this person and a photo of this person that was on the stretcher, they do appear to be the same individual. So again, Rob Manula Lockenwall from Bellingham, Washington, an Afghan national born in 1996, is the person that the FBI now believes is responsible for this. And as we've been reporting, and as NBC News was first to report tonight, in fact, the FBI is investigating this initially as a potential act of terrorism. Of course, motives can change in the course of the investigation. They can look into that. But at least initially here, this is going to be led by.
Okay, I want to stop right here and I want y'all to watch. This is what I'm looking at. You tell me what you see. Why is it that the camera is not angled where they're at? Why is it only on the side of them? Do everybody get what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying, Tavares?
No, what? Say it again.
Okay, watch. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Joint Terrorism
Why
Task Force
is
in
the
Washington,
camera-
D.C.
Right.
And this information is now being shared with law enforcement agencies.
Why
we're
you
told,
can't see 'em?
across the country, just given.
Why you can't see him in that video?
Because that's the angle that the news, I guess they were using a helicopter or a drone. The news channel wouldn't have the footage from right up close. They wouldn't be able to get that close.
No. So the drone can't?
The drone can't get that close either because now you're interfering with airspace. Well, you're if you get too close, then yeah, no, they can't. That's why the quality is so bad. They had to zoom in from far away. It could have been a helicopter.
Do you get what I'm saying? Why couldn't they angle themselves in front so that you can see the person? If you really wanted the person to be seen, they didn't want the person. I'm telling you, I'm saying, and somebody else, and not only me saying it, and I'm not going to say they. I have watched other videos, and people are not believing this. I'm just saying, it's just so strange. This happened when he's off at Mar-a-Lago. And it's happening around Thanksgiving. It's just so not, the timing is off. And we're going to find out later on down the line how this really played out. Okay? We're going to see down the line. When that young lady told him that he was somebody that he let in, what's his name got mad. Trump got mad. He tried to blame it on Biden. And when they told him it was you who gave him asylum, you signed the paperwork, he got mad. Y'all, I'm sorry. I told my husband that. My husband, oh, here you go again. Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It shows I'm a black woman. I don't believe it. I don't believe. I don't believe this whole thing. Period.
And the fact that they want to check up on all these things. Certainly officials here in New York are aware of this information. We're told from officials in D.C. Because they wanted people in the law enforcement agencies here in New York to be aware of who this person was, to see if there's any ties, anybody they need to check, with tomorrow being the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Right now, there is not believed to be any sort of specific or credible threat to that, according to an NYPD briefing.
Tom, can I ask you something? And I don't want us to get over our skis here on this, but you point out that the last known location of the suspect was in Washington State, obviously across the country from Washington, D.C. Is there any reason to believe, on the basis of the sources you're talking to, that this individual traveled across the country for the purpose of carrying out this attack? Had they already been, spending time or living in D.C. for a little bit? Do we not know?
That's probably the number one question that they're trying to figure out at this time. Check back on travel schedules, figure out how this person got there. They do have information as far as their driver's license and vehicle. They'll check that. There's obviously license plate readers. We've seen that come into such use by law enforcement over the past several years. And just this year, you look at New Year's Day, that information was so helpful in trying to determine the location and how the individual that attacked New Orleans on New Year's Day, and also remember the incident at the Trump hotel in Las Vegas. That individual who had an incendiary device that arrived at the hotel there, they were able to trace that person's travels through the license plate reader and get an identification. So all of that, Hallie, will go into the investigation. But you've asked the question.
Now, do you see how they're promoting all these? You listen to the technology that they're promoting. Do you get that? The promoting of the technology that they're using. First, it was a fingerprint, digital fingerprints that they can immediately find out who he was right off the bat. That was one thing they talked about. This is why I'm saying, Tavares, that drone, he behind a bus stop. That was a bus stop, right? He was behind all that. Y'all couldn't pull him out. Y'all were all over him. Y'all couldn't pull him out so everybody could see what y'all were doing with him. All you saw.
Why would they need everybody to see though? You see what I'm saying? You don't want to. Like, is it important that everybody saw him?
No, because if you for real, you're for real. Yeah, it's important. It's very important.
Why would that be important?
Just like the idea that they put somebody on that stretcher and put them in there. I don't believe that either. I don't believe it. I don't. I believe, like somebody said, this was an exercise. That's what I believe. We are so caught up on the things that happen in America, a lot of things are not tragedies. It's come out to be a tragedy. They create the tragedies. You know, we talked about this on the show a long time ago about how they create the scenarios. It's so funny that happened on Thanksgiving, right around Thanksgiving holiday. That's just so weird. Why couldn't it happen last week? Huh? Why couldn't it happen the week before last? Why did it have to happen on holiday when everybody is away? When everybody was on their way going different places? Why? And that man came from Washington State.
The Afghan suspect in D.C. guard shooting was a CIA vetted and granted asylum under the Trump administration.
All right. Okay. All right. That's
He has been vetted twice, by the way.
Okay. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I was trying to make. And thank you very much for that. Hey, Miss Powell. That will never change, ever. It will always be a colored thing as long as we live. That's true. I got you. Hey, Miss Powell, I ain't seen you in the HS. I really like they're all after Trump, and he knows it this as well. That's right. They sure are. But yeah, say that again. Say what you just said again about this guy.
oh yeah, he was CIA vetted twice.
So I'm trying to figure out when we gonna take the blinders off. When we gonna take the blinders off? When? Just like they said about the Charlie Kirk situation. Same thing. Did y'all know now she's supposed to be 8 weeks pregnant? And he died 10 weeks ago? So she was 2 weeks pregnant when he died?
No, that's not how that works.
Okay. I don't know.
If she's 8 weeks pregnant and he died 10 weeks ago, she wasn't pregnant when he died.
Okay. Let's verify that. Let's verify Charlie Kirk's wife pregnancy. Because somebody said them numbers ain't adding up. What's her name? Okay, hold up. See, I told you. Hold up. So it says here, Erica Kirk says she was praying she was pregnant with Charlie Kirk's baby after he was killed. Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, says she was praying she was pregnant after her husband was killed. During a conversation with Megyn Kelly, the mom of two said she and her late husband wanted to welcome their 4 children together. Erica and her late husband, Charlie, welcomed a 3-year-old daughter and a 1.5-year-old son. So where's the 4th child come from?
I don't know.
Because he said, oh, maybe she was planning on having 4 kids. And he wasn't assassinated, y'all. He wasn't assassinated. He was murdered. There's a difference. He wasn't assassinated. I don't know where they get that title from. But he wasn't. He was murdered. It's a difference. He's not no great leader. He wasn't a Martin Luther King. We wanted to have 4. Okay, she told Kelly. And I was praying to God that I was pregnant when he got murdered. So now he got murdered. See, I told y'all. I was like, oh goodness, that would be the ultimate blessing out of this catastrophe. What the hell? Erica and Charlie went with a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son together. Erica went to to share that she advises women, especially young women, to prioritize having a family if that's what they want to do. Now, when I was young, whatever. But yeah, so they're saying that if she's pregnant, it ain't his baby. They talking about the numbers don't math. The math ain't mathing. That's what they say. I don't know. Okay. What'd you say? She said, well, I wonder who this baby is for. It's always somebody playing in the background.
JD Vance. That's for JD Vance.
JD Vance. She must let him put on a pair of pantyhose.
Well, no, they do weird shit all the time.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, they do. They definitely do that. Yeah, so they said she was pregnated and it yeah. So he was a CIA operative. Y'all still believe that he wasn't sent? Because I believe he was sent. I believe he was on a mission. That's what I believe.
Mm-mm-mm.
Let me go back up.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, you went out.
Yeah, I went out. I accidentally touched the wrong thing. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Before we go, anybody has anything else you want to share that happened locally? Let me go to KLB real quick. Because remember, this is freedom speech. What's the name? Friday, Free Speech Friday. Oh, hold up, y'all. Oh, wow. So somebody going off on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's share this. Look, they're not happy with her. Hold up here. Where did this come from? Let me see if I can put this up here. Okay, so somebody said the problem with Jon Stewart. It says found this and thought it was a spot on. MGT is a full-blown freak and nothing less. An open letter to Marjorie Taylor Greene. This was written by Alyssa Milano, November 17th. Congresswoman Greene, let's skip the pleasantries. They were never your thing anyway. So you've suddenly discovered that Donald Trump, the man you treated like a messiah, is not loyal, and that the mega movement is not safe, not sane, and certainly not rooted in anything constitutional. And you're shocked that he's attacking you, endangering you, calling you a traitor, as if you didn't know he had it in him. Please. Here's the part you don't get to skip. You helped create this monster. You fed it, you protected it, you celebrated, and now it's finally turning on you. You want sympathy, understanding, a moment of national concern? No, absolutely not. No. You don't get to unleash political poison into the bloodstream of American politics and then act surprised when it reaches your own veins. You don't get to cheer on Trump while he smears, threatens, and dehumanizes everyone in his way, and then clutch your fake pearls when he finally does it to you. You don't get to empower a movement built on conspiracy, cruelty, and violence, and then cry foul when you become its latest target. Let's be honest. You calling for the release of the Epstein files isn't courage, it's fear. You don't suddenly care about truth or justice, and you definitely don't care about the victims. You are calling for the release of the files because you're afraid of what unchecked powers look like when it's no longer aimed at your enemies. The Epstein case is a perfect cultural lightning rod, and your supporters love that shit. You saw the polls and are reacting accordingly. Jump off the sinking MAGA ship. Am I right? MTG? Now you're talking about accountability and transparency. Huh. Where was that energy on January the 6th? Where was your outrage when Trump incited a mob to storm the Capitol? When they hunted Democratic lawmakers through hallways? when they called for the hanging of the vice president, when police officers were beaten, crushed, and traumatized doing their jobs? Where were your moral clarity then, MTG? Where was your voice when Democratic governors were receiving kidnapping threats? When election workers were doxxed and terrorized? When a man broke into Nancy Pelosi's home and a hammer and nearly killed her husband? When threats against Democrats, judges, school boards, and public servants skyrocketed? You said nothing. And this isn't new behavior. You chased the Parkland school shooting survivor, David Hogg, down a Washington sidewalk, taunting him and calling him a coward. You screamed through President Biden's State of a Union address like you were the most unprofessional person to ever be elected into office. You voted against the Frederick Douglass Human Trafficking Prevention and Protection Reauthorization Act, one of only 20 members of Congress to oppose a bipartisan bill designed to help trafficking victims. You amplified the QAnon conspiracies. You suggested school shootings were staged. And while Democrats were being targeted when a militia plotted to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and when Governor Josh Shapiro's house was set on fire in an arson attack with his family inside, you offered no outrage, no sympathy, no defense of democracy. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. Congresswomen, I'm not buying it. If you want redemption, if you want to step into the light, there is only one door: public, unequivocal accountability. Not the performative kind, that hair and makeup. Not the Trump hurt my feelings kind. Not the victimhood you've been perfecting. Real accountability means going fully public with everything you know, every lie, every scheme, every threat, every abuse of power you witnessed, tolerated, or assisted. If you want redemption, stay with the truth, all of it. Until then, this isn't a moral awakening. It's simply the consequences of your own choices, arriving right on schedule. Sincerely, Alyssa Milano. Shit, she said a lot. Boy, she wasn't letting up. Damn. She got that out, didn't she? She definitely got that out. So what y'all think about that? Did you hear everything she said, Tavar? Was she wrong?
Yeah, I didn't hear it all, but no, it's definitely performative. Definitely performative. She's trying to she's trying to escape or jockey for another position.
Yeah. Somebody said she might be thinking about running in 2028.
Yeah,
she won't win, but she set herself up.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then you know, like I keep talking, it's the Great Reset. Anybody can run for president now.
Yeah, and anybody can win. Shoot, look at what we have in there.
I don't think anybody can win. I think those days are over with.
You think it's all gonna
I think that experiment is over with. Anybody can't win.
Gotcha.
You actually got to be qualified.
Gotcha. I don't think they'll make this mistake again. Well, we made it twice, so I don't know.
Well, the first time it was inconspicuous the first time. It sucked, but they were able to reverse it with Biden, right? And everybody wasn't happy with that for some reason. But it definitely wasn't a Trump presidency.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. So you have anything we can we're gonna close down the show. Do you have anything you want to add on? Anybody has anything they want to add on?
No. If people are watching, if they're watching the replay, make sure you tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We try to be consistent with that. I think this coming up Tuesday is the December 2nd city council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, it's about the redistricting. So you need to be at this one. You need to be there Tuesday, and I'll try to make it so that we can go live while it's happening. And,
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. Thank you for saying that, because it triggered something in my mind. Now, I was told that there shouldn't be any problems with the vote. I'm just going to put it out like that. There shouldn't be any problem with the vote. So if you come, you can speak or say whatever you want, but it's taken care of.
yeah, I wouldn't say that out loud.
I wouldn't say that out loud. I'm not for sure, but I'm going to go, and I'm going to say a couple of words. Democracy needs to be taking place. But hope I didn't give out too much information, but yeah. So in other words, it's not going to be a lot of back and forth, is what basically is saying. That there's not going to be a lot of back and forth. If there is any type of vetoes happening, it won't look good. So, in other words, trust the process. Okay. But yeah, I would go in support of, I would be there to support the decision. And if you want to get up and say something, you can. But it shouldn't be 3 people. And 2 of them, well, one of them didn't even live in their district at all, don't even live in the city limits. And they got up there and spoke. The other 2 lived in both of them lived in those districts. But it needs to stop. All this stuff that goes on needs to stop. I'm trying to figure out, why is it so hard for things to be done correctly? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard that we don't make stuff, especially when it's not for us, it's for the people. It's not for us to try to gain power over. It's for the people. Everything we should be doing is for the people. But we have this greediness, we have this corruption that just has to take place every time. And this is why you can't move forward. You talking about Alexandria, no. Y'all got to stop just doing stuff the wrong way. That's all. Think about the people. That's all you got to do. Think about the people. Who's going to benefit the most from this? That's all. And that's what we don't do. We don't put the people first. We put our own selfish, dirty little ways in front. And that's why things don't work out like they should. Okay. So, Ms. Hall, thank you very much. Ms. Battles, thank you. Ms. Dixon, thank you. Thank you, Tavares, for coming in and not saying anything. There won't be no check. You might have showed up, but you didn't do no participation, so there won't be no check. So you can hang that up. Let's see who else came on here. Anybody?
Still clear.
Oh, yeah. I might have to put what they put on there, what a hold on it, is that what they call it? A hold? Put a hold on that check.
Stop payment.
Yeah, I got to put a stop payment in place for you, because you've been slacking. I don't know what your issue is, but you've been slacking. But yeah, so definitely thank you guys. Oh, don't forget, Miss Dixon. I think we're gonna be talking back to back, because I'm gonna be Sunday night and then Monday night. So I will be back on, you guys. I'm serious. I will be back on the Talk Shop Live, because I kind of missed it. But I thought Wednesday night, I thought this would be a great time for you guys to prepare yourself for your families and everything. So we'll be back Sunday night, and then Monday night is our webinar. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. I'm looking forward to sharing some things with you guys. I'm looking forward to you guys sharing with me. Okay? So I'm really looking forward for this. Okay? I'm excited. So we shall see you guys Sunday night, 6 o'clock, Sunday, Wednesday, and then Wednesday at 7. But yeah, we'll be back. Everything is gonna fall back into play again. Oh Lord, I did. So I might do a reading this weekend for Black Queen's Reading. I might try to get one in. I might see what my Saturday and Sunday look like. To get that in. Okay. So you guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. You guys have a great evening. Bye-bye.